Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Season 6 of Spirit Riding Free. Now, as you know, Spirit Riding Free had about 8 seasons, which Season 1 started from 2017, and now we're up to Season 6 that aired obviously on Netflix in August the 17th in 2018. And the best way I can describe Spirit's Riding Free's sixth season is that's a season that's on more semi cruise control. It's got moments where it works, moments that has its dull moments, but moments where it's building up to the big wedding thing. And each episode is meant to show obviously Lucky and her friends in their day-to-day life. Like obviously the first episode being Lucky and the doubtful drought, where obviously a giant drought strikes Mirabello, and we kind of see right away Grayson seems to have a lot of water from his well. And keep in mind, since Lucky is a smart cookie, she obviously knows right away Grayson might be planning something. And it really shows you the difference between how Jim and Grayson handle things. Grayson's a bit more of a conman and obviously can manipulate, lie, trick, and swindle to get what he wants. Jim will basic Jim is more the guy who tries to be a leader and can kind of understand the situations around him. And obviously, each episode is obviously meant to be the girls dealing with a certain fiasco. Like the second episode, Prue trying to prove to her father that, that she can be just as responsible. Also, the also the fourth episode showing how Lucky is trying to finish up all her New Year revolutions, which leads to the old classic fiasco. Character does a bit too much, they end up biting off more than they can chew, and other characters have justified reasons for calling them out. And you can tell Aunt Cora and the people around her do have justified reasons for making a honest point. And word of advice, if you are planning to do something, always make sure to think about it before you do something stupid. And the fifth episode obviously being with Lucky and the cousin Caper, where right away you can tell Julian ends up in another situation that Lucky and her friends have to quickly help him with, and right away it leads to kind of Julian having to decide if 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 basically planning one lie after another with Lucky is really gonna work. And it shows you deep down Julian does have a bit of a moral side. It's just only when things go right way too far. And I think the sixth episode is where obviously we're gonna see the big wedding thing. Where obviously Lucky has that kind of superstition that the wedding might be cursed, and right away you can tell one thing leads to another problem, and you can tell right away it seems to be building up this big epic moment until we see the return of a certain foe from the last season, and it kind of shows right away we're going to get to the good stuff for the seventh season. And I think it's a shame that I think the sixth episode couldn't really bring back Lucky's mum's adopted family or found a way to incorporate them in the wedding. And it would have been so nice to have seen Solana again. I really loved her character because she was kind of like a bit more of a figure to Lucky, and it's a shame they couldn't really bring her along to Meladello to live a normal life. But I feel like the sixth season's there to be more on cruise control. It's obviously trying to balance more as a bit dull, a bit good, but still trying to handle that sort of normal day-to-day life and these sort of shenanigans and adventures Lucky and her friends will and can get into. So I think the season definitely deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, kind of okay, despite a bit of a season that's on cruise control. So, Comic Book Reviewer here, signing out.